What is going on? Welcome. Sooner Surge podcast that tells it like it is on this Thursday evening. How's everybody doing tonight? We'll be joined very shortly by Jeremy. I just went ahead and started because I didn't want to keep you guys waiting. So, how's everybody doing tonight? Boomer Sooner for Light. Greetings from Tennessee. Pink Floyd. What's going on? Monty, Lane, Chester, Benjamin, the Sooner Boys. Yep. Just chilling, listening to some Waylon. Like, there we go. Hey, I got to start off with this. This is not OU related, but we have to mention it, and I want to mention it off the top, and just because when you think about sports movies, I mean, Gene Hackman, probably arguably one of the greatest sports movies of all time with Hoosiers. And then also, hey, The Replacements is really good too for sports movie, but just a sad situation. Gene Hackman. I didn't realize he was 95 years old. I'll just be honest with you. I did not know that. I was surprised by that. But just a weird deal, and just sad to hear that because he's one of the great actors. And specifically the sports movies, he was great. But a lot of I went and looked at his movie list this evening. Wow. Absolute stud of an actor. I mean, all his movies are really good, but so talking about Stutsman. The combine tonight started. You had Ethan Downs and Danny Stutsman going. And Stutsman, man, 4.52. Really good run for him. Downs did good as well. So good to see. I see people saying early second round for Stutsman. It's so hard to know with linebackers because linebackers typically aren't drafted like extremely high. So, but yeah, I mean, I think he had a great day today. I saw Steve on Twitter putting some Twitter stuff out there, put the ponies in the barn and different things. It was good stuff. But 918 says, crazy to me, Beebe was only member of the staff that was told about Nagy offer. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. 918. I haven't heard a whole lot, so I can't really comment a whole lot on that because I don't know the details of it. But it's crazy that him. Oh yeah. It's wild stuff. I don't know what's going on with it, and I don't want to speculate. But Stutsman will go to a place where I think automatically becomes one of the leaders on the team. Well, Stutsman's a guy that definitely is a leader type. He's got that mentality, but it depends on where he goes, Jackson. Because if you go to a place that has just stud linebackers, I mean, I'm going to throw a scenario. If he went to the 49ers with that linebacking core, I mean, they got like already guys that are leaders right there. He wouldn't have to be a leader right away. Is what he wouldn't have to be. I mean, he could be, but he wouldn't have to be. And I don't think he automatically becomes one because he's a rookie. And I don't know. Sometimes the NFL, they make you like, hey, you got to earn it. But he's going to have a long NFL career. I can pretty much, I think, book on that unless injuries were to say. I'd love Tampa Bay. Okay. I'd love Tampa Bay. What's up, Jeremy?
Not much. I assume we're talking.
What's going on, man? Danny Stutsman. Yeah, talking a little bit about that. What?
I said I assume we're talking about Danny Stutsman, right?
Yeah. What's up, Bagman? How you doing tonight? Yeah, he had a good day, Jerm. So Ethan Downs did pretty well too. So, but good day for Danny. Glad to see it. I think. Are you there? You seem like you're lagging. I don't know what's going on, Jerm. I don't know what's going on your end. You just seem a little bit laggy. So might check that out and see what's going on. But I think you're even frozen. Yeah. Hey, Hunter, I don't think I'm lagging. Hunter. I don't think it's me. I think it's Germ, but I don't know. Apparently, I don't know what's going on. It's like a Twilight Zone. What's up, Germ?
Maybe you can hear me now.
Yeah, this is way better now. So, way better.
Says you're lagging.
Am I still
well,
lagging?
Jay.
Am I, Germ?
Apparently. Hey, did you say what Steve Stutsman said?
What about it?
What Steve said? And you are lagging, Jay.
What about it?
Come back, please. Leave and come back. Yeah, Jay, you're lagging. Get on out of here, Jay, and join back. Maybe it'll be better. Hey, no, I messaged Steve today and said 4.52, Danny Stutsman, nice, looking good. And he said he was running 4.48s pretty much during training. So he was not surprised he ran a 4.52 today. He thought that, he's been working really hard, and that's a great day for him. So we'll see where it lands him. Hunter, I don't know what your thoughts were, and maybe people have already said in here where you think he goes, round wise, pick wise, kind of ballpark. But hey, Ron,
is this better? Is this better?
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, Ron, I'm awful quite white. I'm quite lovely. I'm quite positive. Ron, I'm awful quite. Ron, I'm awful quite engaging tonight. What?
Hey, real quick, Sooner fan. I kind of agree with Barry Tremmel a little bit. I don't know if they will. He might be back next year. I mean,
who?
That's it. Porter Moser. Did you see the comment? Am I still lagging?
I think you're better. Barry Tremmel needs to put.
Obviously, Ron is trolling.
Barry Tremmel's great. I love Barry Tremmel.
We should do a Sooner Surge combine. Me and you do a little combine drills, Jerm.
Hey, Jay, when is the college football tournament starting?
I don't know what's going on. I'm talking next week. I'm trying to figure it all out and get it all set up. You'll be getting an email from me if you've signed up. Just last week was kind of crazy with everything, but you'll be getting an email soon with the brackets and everything set up for that. So, am I lagging? I'm so confused on what's going on.
Right now you're okay, but every now and then you do lag. Yes. Sooner fan says Moser will be the first coach in NCAA history to have his team ranked in the top 10 2 years in a row and not make the NCAA tournament both of those years. That's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. So, and I don't know what else people talked about. I was a little late on here, but combine is interesting. I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't watched a single bit of it. Not once. I saw Danny Stutsman's run. It wasn't live, but I saw his 4.52 run on social media. But that was pretty much it. I think he's the highest Sooner drafted, and then Billy Bowman, I think, next. But we'll see. I don't know what Quinn ran. Do you?
They haven't ran. Today was the first day, and I think it was just defensive linemen and linebackers, right? From what I'm pretty sure.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, correct. Hunter says that's correct. So those are later on. So I'd be interested to see what he runs, though. Yeah, Downs 4.69. That's good for Downs, isn't it? I think that's pretty good.
I have no idea.
D lineman.
I don't know what's wrong with
Moser will also turn down the NIT tournament.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on. Something's up. I can't really. Maybe it's my end because every time I talk, you come in way later and answer the question.
Okay, then I guess you're gonna have to leave because I mean I can't.
I
Just leave, Jay. I don't know what else to tell you on this. What do you mean I don't read? I don't pay attention to the chat. I absolutely pay attention to the chat. Ron, I'm not in the mood to deal with some bad comments from you tonight. Just gonna be honest with you. I pay attention to chat. It's what I do. I do it every single night. For a D lineman, that's good. I saw his shuttle drill. He looked pretty quick in that. And I think Tom Brady did. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what Tom Brady ran, but it was very, very slow. It was very slow. Very, very slow. But guess what? He's got a lot of rings. Sooner fan. I guess you could say I've been both sides of fears because I do think he's turnover heavy, but he's worked on that and gotten better. So I'll say that. I'll also say that he's got everything you need to be a really good NBA player. He's 6'4". He's got good vision, especially when he wants to have it. But he's going to be really good in the NBA. There's been games. The biggest complaint for me about Fears this year was when he went through a stretch where he was just lazy. Just didn't seem to give a lot of effort.
Hey, guys, the whole NIT, it's not just OU. It's almost like it's worse than any bad bowl game. It's worse than the Armed Forces Bowl that OU played in. The NIT, nobody wants to play in that.
No.
You know why? You don't keep teams together anymore. It doesn't happen. You transfer. That's what happens. You got to go to the portal. It's worse than any bowl game there is. There's no reason for the NIT to play unless back in the day when you had guys that would come back and play 3 to 4 years on your team, I could see the NIT. Nowadays, it doesn't mean anything. No reason for it. I think it's silly. In fact, I don't think the NIT makes it another. I don't think the NIT makes it another 5 years.
Hey Jay, do they still have the C? Do they still have the other tournament?
No, the CBA or C, whatever that was.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's not going to make
NIT won't be a thing. And I thought baseball was 16th. I see Lane says maybe 14th for baseball. Hunter will know.
Hey, some of the talk
Jay,
today
are
was
they 14th?
Anyway. What?
Are they 14th or 16th, Jay? I'm not sure. 5 different polls.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Hey, some of the talk today on Twitter, people were talking about the if the SEC goes to 9 conference games, who would you like the 3 teams to be for Oklahoma as every year teams to play, like the rivalry teams? And I saw some people say Texas, Arkansas, Missouri. I saw some people want Texas, LSU, Missouri. But if you're doing regionally, it would be Texas, Arkansas, Missouri. But
I'd be fine with that because 2 of those 3 haven't been good lately. I got to take that back. Missouri's been good. 2 of those 3 aren't playoff caliber teams.
I'd actually be fine with it too, because also you got the game in Fayetteville every other year is close drive for Sooner fans. Missouri's not bad. I don't know. I mean,
get it.
There's Texas A&M in Missouri. I wouldn't mind that one either. That's like old Big 12, baby.
Just a second.
I'd be down with that. What's that? I don't know what he said. Said something, but we're getting a lot of different thing in here. People saying, any chance OU could drop? No, Okie. Surely you're being sarcastic. You would have to be sarcastic with that. Fire Moser, go after Will Wade, Altman, McDermott, Jay Wright. Man, those are some big names. I don't think OU's.
Hyperventilating, man.
What is going on?
John Shire?
Yeah. I think he's being sarcastic.
I can't breathe.
I think
OU has Zero chance at getting John Shire. Come on.
Hey, in fact, Jason, off this list right here. Wait. Off this list right here, there's probably only one or two that they could even get, in my opinion, off that list.
Maybe a Dana Altman.
I don't know. I think Will Wade is the guy you could get if you went after him. It's just, I don't know if they'll go after him. I don't know if Castiglione will go after him.
Jackson, my what is ridiculous. If you're going to use it correctly. My what is ridiculous. Are you saying I am ridiculous? Because that's you are, not your. And second of all, what's ridiculous about my statement? And Corey, welcome back. Haven't seen you here in a while. Buzz Williams is absolutely a guy I'm going after. Now, he's probably my second choice because I'm going to go try to get Kellen first.
Yeah, I mean, hang on, I'm looking something up real quick. Give me a second. I want to look something up.
I mean, it cracks me up, some of the things. Like, have you seen the crowds at OU? They're not getting John Shire. He's going to leave Cameron Indoor to go to the LNC. Come on.
All right, here's what I looked up. So,
go get Billy Gillespie.
Buzz Williams, typically about 4 to 5 years at a place, and then he moves on. So it's about time for him to move on. He got to A&M in 2019, and he's got them better. He's got them consistent. Now it's about time for him to move on to the next place. Hey, while we're at it, let's just go with trivia. Okay. Before we do, check out the FanStop, www.thefanstop.com. Code SURGE, you get 10% off your first 3 months. Check them out. Officially licensed merchandise. They got great hats, great shirts, great jackets, great hoodies, all of it. Go check them out. Here's a trivia question tonight. While we're on it, just tell me Buzz Williams' first name. His actual first name, Buzz Williams.
Hey Jay, what did Kelvin say about Kellen to make Porter Moser Stan think he's going to be the next coach here?
I don't know if it's the same interview I saw, but I saw something where basically he's ready to coach. I mean, I don't know.
But is Kelvin ready to get out?
What would that have to do? Because you think he would be the dead-on job for Houston, right?
For Houston is what I'm saying, yeah.
There it is. There's the answer, Brent. And let's see who got it first. Is it Corey?
I think Corey got it.
Corey might have been first tonight. Brent Williams is his first name.
You could have two Brents at OU.
Yeah.
Corey's first day back in a while, and he gets the trivia tonight.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? Hank Williams, that's a good one, Ron. No to Brent and no to Buzz is what they're saying. And by the way, the Doug Gottlieb experiment, wow.
Bad.
I thought he's going to be a pretty good coach, Jeremy. This has been shocking to me that they've been this bad. And I watched a couple of their games, and he runs some good sets and stuff. They just might not have any talent over there. They probably don't. You got to give them more than a year. You got to give them time to get some people in there. So,
yeah. What else, Jay?
Hey, not a whole lot. Yeah, it's Green. I know it's Green Bay, Hunter.
Let's open the phone lines.
Open them up. A
lot to talk about. Not really, but we're always here to talk. There might not be a lot to talk about, but we're here to listen, whatever it is you want to talk about.
Germ.
I don't know if Nolan Richardson has any sons or not.
Hey, Germ.
Yeah.
Favorite Gene Hackman movie?
I mean,
not sports related.
Because Hoosiers is number one. Replacements is there.
Not sports related.
Wasn't he in Hacksaw Ridge or?
I haven't seen that, so I don't know. My favorite. I have two favorites.
He's in a submarine movie, isn't he?
Crimson Tide. My two favorites that aren't sports related would be Crimson Tide and then Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State is great.
That's good. Hey, Jay, you know what's unbelievable?
Yeah.
Do you know how old that man was?
95. When I looked it
He's
up,
the youngest 95-year-old I've ever seen in my life.
He was born in 1930. There it is. Nolan
He's the youngest 95-year-old guy I've ever seen in my life.
Nolan Richardson's son played at OC.
He ages as well as Pat Sajak.
Ants, Unforgiven. Yeah, that's a good one. Enemy of the State. Man, he put out. Oh yeah, he was Lex Luthor. All the Superman. I mean, the dude did it all.
I didn't know he was in Ants.
Did not.
Yeah, I don't want to get into what happened because I haven't read the article, but it's a sad deal. I know that. All three.
Yeah. Hang on real quick. I'm going to.
Morgan Freeman is 134. Okay, wait. He wasn't in Speed. Okie Lawn guy, he wasn't in Speed.
No, that's Dennis Hopper.
Here's the deal. A lot of people get Dennis Hopper and Gene Hackman confused, and I know why. Because they were both in Hoosiers. Dennis Hopper and Gene Hackman, both in Hoosiers. A lot of people throw Anthony Hopkins in there as well. They're not the same guys. They're different. Dennis Hopper was in Speed, not Gene Hackman.
But Dennis Hopper was also in Hoosiers.
Yes, with Gene Hackman.
Correct. Yeah. So phone lines are open. Check it out. Give us a call. Give us a talk. Talk what you ever talk about.
Dennis Hopper did play a great drunk.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great quotes from the Hoosiers movie, but there's also some great quotes from the Replacements.
Oh, absolutely.
So, yeah, Unforgiven's a classic. He was in quite a few westerns, if I remember right. Gene was, but so I have not seen Bonnie and Clyde. There's a lot of these I haven't seen. So, but yeah, French Connection, I haven't seen it. How many more days till the first game?
Hunter would have to do the math.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I don't have it on top of my hand. Hey, Chester, have a good night. Have a good night at work, man. Appreciate you joining.
We got Okie Lawn guy on the line.
What's up?
Well, how you guys doing?
Doing all right, man.
Good.
I'm feeling better than last night after that loss. 24 hours later, I'm feeling okay.
Yeah, it took me a little bit to sleep on that. It was I woke up a little refreshed, but still kind of like just in disbelief.
Yep.
I mean, more I look at that shot last night, that really was a circus shot.
Oh, he just threw it up there.
That's what he does.
Hey, but I rewatched it the last probably 7 minutes of the game again before I went to bed. And here's I was saying it during the game, and I watched it again. I said the same thing. Whoever's guarding Owe, Goodine did it a few times. Whoever was guarding him, they were getting right up on him. You got to let that dude shoot. If he beats you shooting outside, he beats you. But you cannot give him, if you get on him, he's going to go right around you and just take you to the rack. And OU does not have a rim protector. And that's what he did for the last 7 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay. I see what you're saying. Like instead of being right up on him, like give him the space. Give him space. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okie Lawn guy, do you think Otego Way?
Oh what? Now I'm getting. You used to call me Ogie. Now you're going to be calling me Ogie Long Guy. What happened now, Jeremy?
Do what?
Gosh, that seems kind of just a slap in the face.
I thought you were Okie Long guy. Hey,
you guys always call me Okie.
Is way better.
Hey, laugh a little bit, Jeremy.
Yeah, Jerem's uptight, isn't he?
Golly.
Otego way better without Porter Moser. He is.
Well, he sure looks like it. Hey, speaking of that, guess who I'm currently watching right now on ESPN Plus right now?
Who's playing? Wichita State?
Yep, Bijan Cortez.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yep. And Joe Bamacil's playing great at VCU.
Gosh. what in the world? I mean, that's just
And
like,
Jalen Hill's at UNLV right now.
Y'all are talking about guys that it happens all over the place, not just OU.
well, come on now.
No, it's different, Jay. It's different.
No, it's not different, Jeremy. It's only because you're a fan of OU. That's why.
No, it's not. It's different. I'll tell you why, Jay. A lot of guys leave before the coach gets there. Jalen Hill, Elijah Harkless, Brady Manick, Umoja Gibson, the guy Mason at Arizona State, by the way, leading the Big 12 in 3 points.
Okay, Jeremy.
Bijan Cortez, Joe Bamasil. These are guys that did not leave before Moser got there. They played under the man and then left.
They left OU and went to that little bitty school.
Oh, North Carolina, little bitty. Okay, hey,
Other than Brady Manick. Come on. They're all at mid.
Brady Manick killed it at North Carolina.
He did good at North Carolina, but they had a coaching change. Lon left, and he didn't want to play for a new coach. I don't mind that.
He played for Moser.
Okay, 1 year, whatever.
Brady Manick played for Moser and said, "I can't do it anymore." That's what happened.
We know you don't like.
We have lost a lot of guys, though. I mean, I'm sure it happens, but there's a lot of guys who played at OU under Porter Moser that are killing it right now. Well, I mean, think about what. I mean, I know we probably already mentioned it one time during the show, at some point at one of the shows, but Kelvin Sampson called. What's his name?
Uzan.
Yeah, Milo.
Yeah.
He called him softer than margarine butter after it had been microwaved.
Yeah, I did see that. And thank you for dropping this in air. I knew he didn't play for Moser.
Who didn't?
Oh, I thought
Brady
I'm pretty sure he did, Jay.
No, he didn't. He left when Lon left. He did not want to play for another coach. I remember him saying this.
Oh, he didn't play 1 year?
No.
Oh, okay, my
He
bad.
did, Jay.
None. He left after Lon.
Okay,
I was wrong. I was wrong.
Hey, do you think we should have kept Lon Kruger around? But he stepped away, though.
He wasn't going to stay around. He was done.
He decided to leave. He was done. He was retiring.
Okay,
and
last thing about this
was the number one commodity.
Yeah, he was, and people were actually clamoring for him too. If we go back when they were like speculating who they were going to get, if people were like saying, "Oh my gosh, you're going up to Porter Moser. Oh man, what a great hire this is going to be."
Yeah, but I thought it would be. So
it just doesn't have it panned out to be the way it is.
Yeah. Hey,
last thing is this. Guess who's playing in regional over here in Owasoville?
Who's that?
Sapulpa beat Stillwater tonight.
Yep, Sapulpa.
Nice. Yep, they beat Stillwater.
You friends with the coaches over here at all? The Sapulpa coaches, Jeremy? You know those guys?
I teach with one of them, and great.
Oh, okay.
Sapulpa women's basketball is great.
Pretty good. They have a chance to make a run for it, or?
They've won state a couple times in 5A over the last couple of years, but 6A is a different animal, but they're going to compete. I mean, they play Owasso now, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
I guess that's if Owasso won.
They're very well coached.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, come over. Hey, come over here and watch a game, and we'll go to some barbecue.
I might have to. I might be doing it because they play tomorrow night, I think, or is it Saturday?
We're like 20 minutes from you.
My sister lives in Owasso.
Oh, well, what are you doing? Come over here.
My sister-in-law lives in Oologah. I'm out that way a lot. So we need to meet up for lunch one time.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. We'll make it work out. We'll figure something out. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.
Hey, let's get to.
I know we got Porter Moser stands. Yeah, look at some of those names Soonerthron dropped in: Prince Fowler, Ryan Humphrey, D'Angelo Alexander.
Yeah, you guys are crazy. You think it only happens at OU? It's wild. But hey,
there's been a heavy turnover, Jade. Stop tonight.
Let's get to Porter Moser stand. What's up?
Please.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh boy. So I was at the game last night. Something that's funny to me, it was probably 35% UK fans last night. I mean, you're probably looking at 6,500 OU fans, maybe 2,000 Kentucky fans, maybe 7,500 OU fans. Anyways, I'm watching that game, and they played well. They did. I mean, UK was completely healthy. Completely healthy. The UK team that's swept Tennessee and has had some really nice wins, but it just it sucks that they're starting to turn. These last two games, they feel like they're starting to turn a little bit of a corner and figure some things out. I just don't know if it may be a little too late.
It might be, but I tell you, this Ole Miss game is gettable. Ole Miss is struggling.
I think if they can come out, and it killed me on that last possession because if you watch it, Tega, he's a straight line driver. He couldn't finish at all last year, but he's improved. You got to make him a playmaker, and that's something that we didn't do last night. We didn't force him to play make per se. We didn't run any doubles or blitz any ball screens, anything like that. And that really struck me because he had such a hard time handling the ball last year.
He's not
and
a ball handler. You're right.
Making the right read. And we didn't do that last night.
Yeah.
No,
and
Jay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Real quick. There was a lot of talk, Porter Moser saying after the game about why didn't OU use a timeout on the last possession instead of Fears driving down there. My frustration was I would have used the timeout instead of a defensive game plan. You're up by 1. You win the game if you get a stop. Call a timeout and get something set up because he's not a good ball handler, and also he's not a great shooter. He's very streaky. And the one thing I am not allowing him to do is get in the lane. And that's what they did. It's frustrating.
And it's almost like their shell defense just, Goodine is right there, in help, and he kind of fake helps, just like that when Cam what's his name for LSU, there was no help when he drove Cam Carter straight down it's like a little bit of a reach, and then they kind of just go back. I'm like, you have to do anything. Let him shoot a 3 that's semi-open.
That's right.
If he beats you that way, so be it. So be it. And like I said, it strikes me, and I know, like I said, Porter hasn't necessarily won the big game, especially this year. But they did beat Alabama. They have had some good home wins during his tenure. But man, there has to be a begging just to get people out there. You have to beg people to even. There were still sections that were not even half full. It wasn't full. It was probably 75%, and probably a good chunk of that was Kentucky fans. So it strikes me.
And they're 3-5 in SEC play at home this year, and the games they've lost 4 games by like 1 or 2 points. If they win those, they're 8-7 in the conference. It's a game changer.
I was going to say something.
Games. You can't do it.
I was going to say something that Porter Moser stand. I was going to ask him a question before he gets off.
Sure.
Here, but he did mention the shell drill, Jay. OU's been so bad at the shell drill all year.
So bad.
Like it's common basketball. Help, deny, ball. It's not hard. Their help is pitiful.
Well,
they don't deny. What, Jay?
Well, you also had a couple possessions for that. Glenn Taylor totally got lost on it. Obviously he's supposed to take the guy going the basket and just lose.
Jay,
and they had done a decent job all night.
You know what this team never does, Jay? And it proves that they don't help. They don't take charges.
No, that's true.
The
best.
Get in
the lane and take a charge. They just don't.
I went and rewatch. I rewatch a lot of our games, and probably the best defensive game they've had all year is that Michigan game. If you go back and rewatch that, they're always for the most part, they're in position. The help is really good. We'll stop the straight line drive. But it seems like you get into conference play, and it's just like guys just look at times totally disinterested. We can say that that's 95% of the time, but it hadn't been 95% of the time. There's been some bad. This year has been worse, but people don't show up because they don't want to. It's as simple as that. And I'll die on that hill.
Right.
They care about football and obviously softball because it's winning, and then whatever else that's winning that year. You can't tell me there's not 10,000 basketball fans in the state of Oklahoma in the Oklahoma City metro that would pay $5 for a cheap ticket to go watch a game. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Hey,
just
yes or no on this? Yes or no? Would you rather see Jacob Cole? Would you rather see Cole instead of Glenn Taylor?
ooh.
No, but I'd rather see him
I
than
would. Because
I'd rather see him. I'd rather see him than Sam Godwin at times,
or Northweather
or Luke, because
yeah,
his wingspan. He's got
Glenn,
a huge
he
wing.
cannot get on the floor when he's probably
I
outside
totally
of
agree.
Jalen Moore. He's the best athlete they got.
I totally agree. I think small ball five, Jalen at the 4, and then you play a mix of the guards, and we've never seen it. I mean, they actually out rebounded Kentucky last night by 3. So rebounding's been better. I'm totally with you. But anyways, guys.
Hey, thanks, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
Monty
it.
asked about Dalpost. I haven't seen Dalpost in a while. And Ron Wood first. I said it. Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong on Brady Manick. I was totally wrong on that. And then Ron Brown, talk to me about the turnover in football, because I don't know what you're referring to. There hasn't been a lot of turnover outside of during BV's time. Like, it's not like they've lost a lot of the defenders they've had. So I think you're trying to get me riled up, Ron Brown, but I'm not gonna fight it tonight.
Hey, was Stutsman's second time? It was 4.56, right? 4.52 and 4.56. So that's great. You're right around the
good ones, yeah.
2 good ones.
And wasn't he a top three linebacker, or tied for the top one?
I believe he was third. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, we got Jackson on the line. What's up, Jackson?
What's up, Jeremy? I'm gonna have to agree with 2 things that you said. One, to me, it makes no sense why Jacob Cole hasn't got much of an opportunity all year long. Whenever he is probably the longest athlete you have on the team, just his arms are extremely long. He's athletic. I don't know if you guys have watched any of his tape from high school, but dude was
I've
just a
seen him in
pure
college. I
athlete.
don't need to see high school tape.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying you're just a pure athlete. To me, it makes no sense why you have guys like Luke Northweather who are not athletic at all. Luke Northweather can't finish around the basket, can hardly get a rebound. All he's in there to do is fade on a screen to shoot a 3.
Well, that's why he plays, because that's what they want. They want him to shoot the 3.
Yeah,
they did it with Tanner
I know,
Groves. I mean,
he won't shoot it unless he's wide open because he's not aggressive. He's not a confident player.
Hey, we can talk basketball all night and talk about stuff, but I tell you this right now, and Jeremy, I know you'll probably get frustrated when I say this because I say it every night or every game. But if this team had an athletic big, they'd probably be 8-7 in conference right now.
If they had a Brandon Garrison, they'd be 8-7 or better in conference play.
If they had anybody that could protect the rim, they would probably be 8-7 in conference. I'm serious.
Yeah.
What else do you agree with me on, Jackson? I want to hear it.
What else? The fact that you basically implied that Oklahoma's soft, and they are a pretty soft team. You don't see dudes diving for loose balls outside of Duke Miles ever. You don't see. Yeah, sorry, him as well. You never see dudes taking charges. I think it might have been Jay that said that, which to me is the most.
It was me.
Which to me is the most annoying thing to watch. Oklahoma has so many opportunities to take charges, step in front of Otega Owe when he's driving downhill hard, out of control a lot, like he did at Oklahoma as well. Someone needs to step in and take a charge and help defense, get the ball going the other way, maybe flip the momentum at a point in the game. But Oklahoma, and they're soft and help defense. They rotate slow. They don't plug gaps right. They don't contest shots with high hands very well at all. It's just, to me, I don't understand how they can be. Either one, they're so poorly coached, or two, that they don't take pride in themselves on the defensive end of the court. It's one of those 2 things. And if you ask me, I think they're not coached very well on defense.
Well, the thing is, though, Porter Moser's defenses are usually really good. This is the worst defense under Porter Moser. I mean, he usually coaches the heck out of defense, I think, personally. But I don't know. I may be off base there. I just think they're usually pretty good defensively.
I mean, it's just like, I think maybe they were too focused on offense, having guys come in to score the ball, and still at times like, to me, it's an issue that outside of Jeremiah Fears and Jalen Moore, no one can can consistently score up points in the game, because the majority of the top teams in the SEC, they have 3 to 4 options, three
Not
guys that can go and get a bucket on their own. And it's the truth. Oklahoma, they only have 2 guys at a maximum. And at points in the game, Jalen Moore, he's not very good when it comes to creating his own shot.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 1 or 2 moves, but
So
it is. Hey, appreciate it, man.
yep.
Thanks for the call. Hey, I got to say something though about Porter Moser. Porter Moser, in my opinion, by the way, he's got the guy coming in next year that's a big 6'10", I believe, Kai Rogers, but I don't know if Porter Moser will be here to deal with it, but he does have to have the NIL money. You're right, Porter Moser, he does. But here's what I was going to get to is I think Porter Moser and Brent Venables are a little similar in one aspect. You know what it is? I think both those guys would be on the verge of elite coaching if it was before transfer portal era. Because I think both those guys, if they got a guys that come back every year, I think they can coach them up. I think they can get him ready. I think it's the revolving door as transfer portal and
no, Jay,
basketball.
it's everywhere, right?
It is everywhere, Jerm. You're right. It is. Don't get me started on this. It's everywhere, Jerm. Go look it up. Where did Jalen Moore come from, Jerm? He's not an OU guy.
No, he isn't.
Why did he leave Georgia Tech? I can't believe they lost Jalen Moore.
Okay.
You could go down the list with every team, Jerm.
Jay,
It happens all the time.
the big time programs aren't losing guys like OU is. So.
Yes, they are, Jerm. Give me a big time program. Give me one.
Duke.
Duke loses guys. Although you got a couple guys from Duke. Okay,
they got going. 1 guy from Duke.
Okay, but they lost plenty of guys, Jerm.
OU has lost about 5 guys every year.
I bet the average is 3 to 4 on teams.
OU has lost 5 guys, a lot of them starters every year.
It happens everywhere, Jerm. Everywhere. It's the new
I
age,
agree.
man.
Everywhere loses players, but not to the extent of OU. It's just not truth, Jay. It's not true.
I think it is true. But
go look at the numbers. Not true.
I'll look them up after this show. I'm going to go look it up. I think.
Go do it, Jay. Go do it.
I will, Jerm.
OU hasn't been losing bench warmers.
Yeah, they did.
Haven't.
Bijan Cortez and CJ Nolan were bench warmers, buddy.
Okay, talk about those. I wasn't mentioning those.
Tell me guys under Porter Moser that have left and went to a bigger school and done anything.
Not my point. Not my point at all.
Wait. Milos and Ortega. Tell me who else.
And Jay, you just said your answer there. Because if those two guys were at OU this year, they'd be in the Sweet 16.
Well, yeah, but they're not.
All you do is keep the guys you had, Jay.
All you had to do is keep a guy from going to play for Houston and Kentucky. Are you kidding?
Should have done it, Jay.
I'm going to stay and play for Porter at OU. I'm going to go play for Kelvin Sampson in Houston and be their starting guard. Okay. Come on.
Okay.
Can't compete with that.
Well, Jay, do you think Houston came after him before he left OU?
I don't know, Jerm. I have no clue.
They chose Moore over Ortega. They chose Jalen Moore over Ortega.
No, here's the thing. Here's what thing I would say to Porter about this, Porter Moser about this, though. OA transferred before they got Fears.
And I see, yeah, he did, Jay. He did. Wait, I see what Hunter said. But hey, Steve says, how about Downs and Stutsman?
Oh, yeah. Great.
Downs 4.69, Stutsman 4.52 and 4.56. And I said earlier on here what Steve said earlier, that wasn't a surprise with what he's been running, how he's been working. But it's going to be interesting. Jay, have you looked at mini mock drafts at all?
I don't really do the mock drafts because I just don't – I don't spend a whole lot of time on them. But here's the thing. I mean, Combine and Pro Day, you can jump the ladder, and both those guys performed really well today.
I'll tell you this too, Jay.
Danny's going to do great on all the testing that they do, mind tests, all of it. He's going to be great at all that.
Hey, you put Danny Stutsman, Ethan Downs, Billy Bowman, all 3 of them, in an interview room in front of GMs, scouts, they're going to impress. 100%. They're going to impress.
Yeah. And it's just
and
how
I'm
early.
going to say something that people are going to hate. I'm going to say something right now that people are going to hate. We're 45 minutes of the show. Bench press in the morning. Thanks, Steve. Hey, people are going to hate what I'm about to say, Jay. Do you know where I'm going with this?
No, I don't. I can't read your mind, Germ.
Well, we're twins. I figured you could, but here we go. I just said Danny Stutsman. I almost said Steve Stutsman. I just said Danny, and Steve would be the same way. So Steve would fit this description too. Danny Stutsman, Ethan Downs, and Billy Bowman. I said, put them in front of a GM or a scout or anyone, they're going to impress. You know why? Do you know why they're going to impress? One, they're just great human beings, and they've been raised by great people. Because I know I personally have witnessed some and how they've been raised. Jay, Soul Mission. Soul Mission gives student athletes opportunities that a lot of schools maybe don't. And it's been ripped a lot, but I think it does help in some of this stuff. Well, maybe that's hogwash. I don't know. Maybe it's hogwash.
Boy, Lane, a lot of people want, and I'm sure Steve would be pumped if Danny went to the Bucks, but being a Florida guy out there, but I would love it too. It'd be cool. But you know what? Wherever they go, I think they're going to, you just got to hope. I don't know. You see some guys that go to teams like the Browns or something. It's NFL. You're going to, of course, just want to go wherever. But man, I hope he gets on a good team.
Was Danny's time faster than Steve's time?
Danny's faster than Steve.
918. I'm curious. Are you saying that sarcastically, or are you serious? Like that you would see how it correlates? All I know about Soul Mission is it does provide them opportunities to really get out in front of people, have communication. I don't know how it correlates to an NFL interview. I just think that it couldn't hurt, and it probably helps more than it would at all hurt. So
Steve said he ran a 4.55 at Pro Day, so Danny got him by a little bit.
Danny got him.
You know what drill I like to watch?
What's that?
I think it's called the wave. Is it called the wave drill? I think it's the wave drill. They got 2 circles, and you got to go around the circle, pick up the towel, go around this, drop it, pick up the other one, come back around. But you can't drop it. You got to place it down. It's if you drop it, it's not good. You got to place it down. It's a fun drill to watch. I was kind of entertained by it.
Hey, I'm going to say something too, Jay, because figure eight. Hey,
figure eight deal, yeah.
There were people, and there were people that questioned the speed of really Stutsman and Downs, and even Bowman for that matter. And I think they all answered the 2 today answered, Stutsman and Downs answered that question in a just overwhelming yes, that there's speed there. And
oh yeah,
I think you combine that with, both of those guys. You know what else both of those guys got going for them, Jay?
What's that?
They played a lot of football.
They did. They did.
And when I say they're old heads, I'm not saying that to I'm not being critical when I say old heads. They're veterans. They know football. They're football. Not only do they have some of the skills that everyone wants, they got the intangibles. And Steve, firsthand knowledge here, is saying Billy Bowman is tracking to run a 4.46.
That'd be great. That'd be a great time, man. Safety 4.46. Wow. There's a link if anybody wants to call in. We still got about 13 minutes here left. That would be great for Bowman, though. Really would be. Let's get to Sooner-thron real quick. What's up, Sooner-thron?
Hey, gentlemen. How are you guys?
Good. You?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Hope Pops is doing better.
Doing all right. Doing all right.
Good.
I wouldn't say better, but he's hanging in there.
Good. Good to hear. Hey, you were talking about players leaving. Now, this is jumping back to football. You know, it happens to every school. Just one that's crazy to me is the guy that was the top 3 guy that OU and Missouri were just backing for the Williams and whatever his name is. Yeah. And everyone, then Georgia came in the end, and all this stuff back and forth. Missouri finally gets them because of the NIL or whatever. And then literally 1 week he leaves Missouri, goes in the portal and puts it in where no one can contact him.
Correct.
And so I think it's ironic that rules stopping spring games for tampering. There's no doubt they were tampering with him the whole season, because there is absolutely no way Namari all of a sudden, just like Nebraska, 2 days into the portal.
Tampering's happening all over the place.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
It's gonna keep happening. It's just
funny that he's the one that started all that, when I have no doubt that he was doing that. But I just don't understand how these guys, they don't even have these teams even anywhere close to them. And then all of a sudden they just want to go to him. That just makes me think that they must have offered him like $3 million or something.
Or as Hunter says, his high school coach is there. And that's the other thing. There are sometimes people will hire coaches knowing they're going to get players with them.
Sure.
Hey,
I thought the high school coach went to UCF, but he moved to Nebraska.
Yeah, he's at Nebraska, but here's the thing. He
did go to UCF though originally, right? Didn't he go to UCF?
I don't know if he was at UCF. He might have been.
I mean, the guy that was.
I didn't follow it that closely, so I'm not sure. It might have been. He might have been at UCF. I don't know. I'm sure Hunter and 918 would probably know. But hey, the other thing is this. This is why the hire of Jim Nagy is huge, because the connections. He's got a ton of connections. You there, Soonithron? I don't know what happened. He was briefly at UCF. Yeah, I think we lost.
So there he is.
Are you here? Can I hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So he was briefly at UCF.
Oh, so then that guy went. Okay, all right. I didn't.
He's flipped as many times as Williams Nwaneri.
Yeah. Well, that guy he played at OU like right early Stoops years. I don't think he played a lot, but he was like on the team. I can't think of his.
Mosey?
Mosey, yeah. And then his son, I remember 2 years ago, was a guaranteed OU.
Yeah, I remember that whole deal. Yep.
Lamar.
Yeah.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Have a good night.
Hey, I know sometimes people don't like me showing these comments, but Matt, expound on it. Hey, in fact, Matt, I'll challenge you to call in. Absolute worst what? When you say Soul Mission is the absolute worst in the nation, worst what?
Grammar Police is out tonight, Jerm.
What?
You are out.
Please elaborate. It's the worst what? It's the worst development program for helping student athletes thrive outside of football. Wrong. It's not the worst. It's at the top. That's what Soul Mission is. Now, if you say you don't like it, fine, but it's the absolute worst what?
Little Doriel Green Beckham comment tonight. You don't see that often. Grammar Police is out. That's right. Hey, I'd like to go to the South Carolina game. I won't be able to, but that would be a game I'd like to see a game at. Stadium I'd like to see a game at.
Jay, let me say something.
Okay. Sure. You don't have to say, let me say something. You're just going to say
Well, I'm going to say something, because I'm not going to sit here and say Soul Mission is going to be a reason OU wins championships, nor am I going to say it's a reason OU has 2 6 and 7 seasons. Okay. I think both of those comments are bad. But I will say this. If OU was winning championships, people wouldn't be talking about Soul Mission at all. In fact, they'd be saying, man, what that does for the players. And you know what? If you're a player and you're at OU and you're 6 and 7, but you have gone through Soul Mission, obviously it doesn't win or lose ball games. I would say every player is thankful for it.
There you go. Daniel Brooks says,
hey, Okie Lawn guy, way to use the correct version of effect. A lot of people use the wrong one. You used it correctly. Proud of you, Okie Lawn guy. You're an educator. Proud of you.
I think this is a good statement by 918. Soul Mission is good for the building of the man.
Perfect statement.
That's perfect. And there's a lot of
elite statement, 918.
I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it with recruiting, and we could go down a whole tangent on this, but there are a lot of parents that do love the Soul Mission for their kids. And that's because the building of a man. And it's Soul Mission that A lot of teams do this. It's just not called soul mission in a lot of places. That's one of the big differences. But
yeah, and 918, the last part of that's perfect too. It doesn't help. I don't think it helps with wins and losses. Would I be talking about it? Yeah, I would be talking about soul mission if I'm a coach. And I guess it goes back to what I believe in, which is trying to help whoever it is that I'm around be the best person they can be. And I'm going to say something for people who are about to either rip me or if they want to have their own opinion, it's perfectly fine. But if you're going to rip trying to make or help, encourage or prod or urge someone to be the best person they can be, that's pretty sad if you're going to go against it.
Specifically in a sport where how many people get drafted? How many players make the NFL? So, I mean,
yeah,
you got to have something to fall back on because they don't make it. They're not all Danny Stutsmans. They're not all Billy Bowmans or Ethan Downs or
Greg God, there's probably truth in that. And Lane, what you say about the softball and Sid Sanders, yeah. I mean, there's truth to a lot about how when you're in the right frame of mind and you're living in a way where you're not worried about, I mean, yeah, you're going to play better in things. That's just.
Hey, the thing is, though, winning changes it all. And that's what has to happen in Oklahoma. They got to win. This hire with Jim Nagy is a great hire, but now you got to go win. Show people that, hey, this is going to work out. And will the new GM get some players in the spring portal? That's something we need to spend a live talking about. Is spring portal. How did the OU get their numbers down? How many guys will they get in the spring portal? Maybe that's something to talk about tomorrow night based on, okay, how many players do you think they're going to lose in the portal? How many can they get? But I will say this about the new GM. He knows a lot of people. And I was thinking about this last night before we transition to end the show and go to tomorrow night. But I got to say this. I was thinking about this. And if you think about it NFL-wise, okay, if you're a head coach, so Brent Venables, if you're the GM like Nagy, it's like, hey, Brent, what do you need? What do you need right now? What positions? Okay, I'm going to go find him. It takes a lot of pressure off the coaches who are going out and do all this when you have a guy that actually knows talent and is connected to say, hey, who's the most talented guy at these two positions? Let's go see what we can get. Like, I think it helps in that aspect because you got a guy that's solely devoted to that and actually knows what he's doing. Okay. And you can say what you want about Curtis Lofton. He played at OU. He's a great guy, played at OU. But the difference between him and Nagy, that the evaluation of talent it's total opposite. This guy's been doing it for 20-something years.
Hey,
in the NFL and college.
And
it'll help in that aspect.
Didn't Thad Turnipseed have a big-time BV connection, Jane?
Yes.
Okay, that Jim Nagy does not. Guys,
but Turnipseed, it's a different role. That wasn't the same role.
I'm just responding to the comment, Jay. Oh, okay. And by the way, what Hunter said is so accurate. The connection piece. I mean, you've heard of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. It's 6 degrees of Jim Nagy because he can connect to anyone. He's got so many connections across the world of football. And I agree with 918. Bare minimum, corner and linebacker. Must.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably 2 to 3 degrees. Yeah, that's right.
Do you see a way that it'll ever happen? And this would be a great topic too. Will GMs ever be part of the recruiting trips down the road ever?
I don't see. Absolutely, they will. Jay, they're talent evaluators too. They have to be.
But are they right now? Can they do that? No, that's my point. I think it has to change where they're out doing it too, because it's going to be like an NFL. So they're going to go evaluate. I mean, I just wonder how long it's going to take for that to happen.
Hey, I do think other sports are going to get them. Would you think so, Jay?
Well, for instance, there would be some schools that would do an all-around GM for all sports. But this isn't the case. At OU, Jim Nagy, he's over football. I would love – in fact, right now, I would say it right now, if I'm OU, this is what I'm doing in the offseason in basketball. I'm going and trying to get Kellen Sampson, and I'm saying Eduardo Nahara, Come
Exactly.
be the GM of basketball. He's
right.
He's a scout for the Dallas Mavericks. He's coached the team. He knows talent. Get him back to
Nah,
Oklahoma.
absolutely right, Jay.
Have him be the GM of basketball and go get Kellen Sampson to be the coach. I'd be all down for that. And you know who else would love that? There'd be a lot of OU fans that would like to see Nara back. Correct. Don't even bring up Nico Harrison. Don't.
Hey, Jay, we're at an hour. It's been fun. It was great to see Danny Stutsman and Ethan Downs today in the combine. You get more action tomorrow, and we'll be here to cover it tomorrow night and talk about it with you all. Softball team in action against Marshall and Kansas this upcoming weekend. Appreciate everyone watching tonight and the comments and the calls and the thoughts. We really, really appreciate you all. It's fun as always. Tomorrow's Friday. And we will see you all tomorrow. Have a fantastic Friday, Sooner Nation. Please check out the Fan Stop. Do us a favor. Check out the Fan Stop, thefanstop.com, and sign up for that Shirt of the Month Club using code SURGE. Get on there tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night.